As a 2D artist selling your work online, crafting a good listing can get the buyer in the door. And from there, mockups can play a crucial role in helping them visualize your work on their walls. The key is using the right ones. An effective mockup shouldn't compete with your work, but rather elevate it by matching its style and vibe. The problem is, with so many mockups out there, finding that perfect fit can be frustrating and expensive. Sound familiar? Welcome to class. Hey everyone, I'm Tracey Capone, a photographer and illustrator from the Chicago area. I've been selling my work online since 2009 and have been using my mockups to show my work since the beginning. The problem was, when I first started using them, most of the mockups out there were designed for portrait work, and their style didn't match mine as an urban photographer. Once I took control and began creating my own, where I took an intentional approach to creating mockups that complemented my style, it was like a switch flipped. Not only did I sell larger pieces and more of them, I was spotted by national retailers like IKEA and Pottery Barn, and had the privilege of seeing my work in various TV shows and publications. In this class, I'm going to show you step-by-step how I use my go-to app, Affinity Designer for iPad, to create 2-scale custom mockups that better suit your overall style and voice as an artist. We'll start out by talking about sourcing images for your backgrounds, what to look for and what to avoid. Because with so many options out there, you don't need to settle for images that are going to make you work to use them. From there, we'll talk about the basics of the measure tool in Designer and how to use the drawing scale feature to set the scale of a space you designate, making the mockup process a lot easier and more accurate. Next, we'll take a look at 3 of my favorite efficiency tools in Designer: assets, styles, and templates, and focus on how they can make the frame mockup process easier, leaving you more time to create the work for them. Then I'll show you start to finish how I create my frames, from flat vector shapes through the final frames complete with texture and dimension. We'll wrap things up with a dual lesson. I'll show you how working with a drawing scale can help you quickly create a multi-frame gallery layout, and in the process, I'll show you how, with an image from a buyer and some key measurements, you can create custom 2-scale mockups. This allows you to take a more consultative approach with serious buyers by giving them the tools they need to make a more informed decision. More often than not, I've found this leads to selling larger prints rather than smaller, and groupings rather than single images. When you take this class, you'll receive a set of real wood and metal frame styles that I've created for the class, as well as a set of metallic gradients which you can use to create your frames. Now, I'll be using Designer version 2 for the iPad, but if you're on the desktop version or in version 2 of either Photo or Publisher, you can still follow along as long as you know where the tools are located. This class is intended for intermediate users of Designer, and while beginners are welcome to take the class, it does assume you have some experience with the app, as we won't be reviewing the interface. So are you ready to create mockups that will show your work in its best light? If so, grab your iPad and let's get started.